The Apollo astronauts didn't lie to us. But if you listen carefully, they didn't tell us everything either. Because for 50 years, we've been told a very clean story. The moon is dead. A gray rock in space, no change, no activity, no mystery, and that story came from real missions. Real data, like the Apollo missions and later orbiters like Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, everything confirmed it. Every image, every scan, every model, so we stopped questioning it. But here's the problem, we never actually looked at the moon the way humans are supposed to look at things. We measured it, we mapped it, we processed it, but we didn't experience it. And in 2026, that mistake became impossible to ignore. When the crew of Artemis II went back, they weren't expecting surprises, they were expecting confirmation. But within hours, something felt wrong. Not dramatic, not obvious, just off. The moon didn't look like the photos, and that's where everything started to break. Because photos had always shown a flat, simple surface. But in reality, it wasn't flat at all, it was violent. Shadows stretched across the surface like cracks. Small ridges turned into massive walls. Craters didn't look like dents anymore, they looked like holes. Deep, black, empty. Some areas didn't even look real, they looked like pieces of the moon were missing. And suddenly the idea of a simple moon didn't make sense anymore. But that wasn't the strangest part. The strangest part was the color. Because the moon isn't gray, not completely. The astronauts started noticing subtle shades. Brown, green, even hints of blue, very faint. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. For decades, our cameras flattened everything into one color, but the reality? It's more complex, more detailed. Almost like we've been looking at a black and white version of something that was never black and white to begin with. And that raises a dangerous question. If something this basic was misunderstood, what else did we miss? That question gets worse when you look at one specific place on the moon. Reiner Gamma, a bright swirl. No crater, no height, no structure. Just a pattern, sitting on the surface. It's been visible from Earth for centuries, and we still don't fully understand it. Think about that. We've landed on the moon. We've walked on it. We've brought pieces of it back to Earth, and yet, something you can literally see with a backyard telescope is still unexplained. The leading theory says it's caused by a hidden magnetic field. Something beneath the surface, shaping the soil over millions of years. But the pattern doesn't fully match the theory. Parts of it make sense, parts of it don't. Which means one thing. We're still guessing. And then, during the mission, the moon did something no one expected. It started flashing, not metaphorically, literally. Small bursts of light appeared on the surface, fast, sharp, violent. And for a moment, no one knew what they were seeing. Until they realized those were impacts. Meteors hitting the moon in real time. Explosions happening right in front of them. On Earth, we're protected. Our atmosphere burns most of these objects before they ever reach us. But the moon? It has no shield. Every object hits. Every time, which means the surface is constantly changing. Right now, as you're watching this. And suddenly the idea of a dead moon starts to fall apart. Because something that is constantly being hit, constantly evolving, isn't dead. It's just quiet. And maybe that's the part we misunderstood. Because we expected the moon to behave like Earth. Loud changes, visible activity, but the moon doesn't work like that. Its changes are subtle, silent, easy to miss. Unless you're actually there, looking at it, not through a screen, not through data, but with your own eyes. And that's what changed everything. Because for the first time in decades, humans didn't just measure the moon, they observed it. And in just a few hours, they realized something uncomfortable. We didn't misunderstand the moon. We underestimated it. We reduced it to numbers, simplified it into models, and convinced ourselves the story was complete. But it wasn't. It was just easier to believe that it was, because accepting that we missed something, after all this time, is a lot harder. And maybe that's the real discovery. Not that the moon is mysterious, but that even the closest object in space, something we've been staring at for our entire existence, can still surprise us. Which means one thing: we're not as observant as we think. And if we missed this so close to home, then the question isn't just about the moon anymore. It's about everything else we think we understand, and whether we're actually seeing it clearly or just seeing what we expect to see.